Hello, Bold Blueprint community. This is Julie and Jill for your final water cooler wisdom of 2024. I am comfy cozy on my couch today, Jill, and am excited to kind of talk about, the end of the year and how to kind of wrap that up in a celebratory way and how to start focusing on 2025 and bringing some really great goals and motivation to the new year.
And I think what's really important is just having the moment and taking the time to actually reflect on the year. I think so often, we really kind of remember the more recent things that happen, right? Maybe the last, 3 months or so, we recognize the things that happen in our professional life and our personal life. But we don't really take the time to sit down and really reflect on all of the things that happen throughout the entire year and what really growth happened and where we can be celebrating all of the things that we've been able to do. And I know for myself, one of my favorite things is getting kind of in that comfy mode. Is just my first thing that I love to be able to do is just sit down with a white sheet of paper and a good old pencil and just start brainstorming. And one way I actually get inspiration, Julie, is I actually take a look at some of the pictures I took throughout the year. And it starts to jog my memory of all of the things that happened, like in both sides of both, career life and also personal life. And that's a great way to laugh as you're reflecting on the rest of the year and kind of get the mind going about reflecting on some of those.
I love that because, yes, a lot of times we, maybe do a year-end review for work. And so we remember some of our professional accomplishments, but we're not always thinking about our personal. And so I definitely go back through my phone because, yeah, it's so hard to remember some of the places that you've traveled or the fun things that you've done. And so I like to also do that, take stock of my photo app because, and I am notorious for like taking screenshots of things too, of that, like I'm like a recipe I'm gonna make or like a quote that felt so inspirational in the moment, but haven't looked at it since February. So it's just really good to go back and yeah, scroll through your photo app and remind yourself of the fun things that you've done and places you've seen or quotes that were important to you or things that you had wanted to do throughout the year.
And I know I also try to reflect on those moments where I found growth. And I think through some of those challenges that I experienced kind of through the year. And I dig in just a little bit more and just reflect on how did I feel in that moment, what came from that moment, and how now am I navigating or how now am I showing up maybe a little bit differently, and how have I evolved from that. So I actually do take time and revisit some of those more challenging times that I had in the year and really think about what was learned kind of in those moments. Because even with some of the challenges that we experience, I think it is something for us to be celebrating that one, we got through it, and two, what did we learn from that now is contributing to who we are today. So I take time to take stock of, you know, those challenges that I also experienced.
Yes, I think it's so easy for us to sometimes get caught up in like what we didn't do over the year. So like maybe we set out with goals for 2025. Maybe or sorry, for 2024. I'm already ahead. So maybe for 2024, we want to do, I don't know, lose 10 pounds, go to Hawaii, save $20,000 and, like uh, I don't know, meet the love of your life. And maybe none of those things happened. And then we get stuck in that rut that we think that like growth hasn't happened because we didn't necessarily meet those particular goals. But when we take a step back and we look at all of the things that we did accomplish or how we did grow in our mindset, or maybe we grew stronger, maybe we went to the gym and we've, grown stronger. And maybe we can, I don't know, run a marathon now versus before or something. So it's not always those hard, tangible goals that you think you had set forth. And maybe throughout the year, you've accomplished something even better.
I love being able to think about kind of the different ways that we've been able to grow. And I love that that guidance on being able to reflect on that. One thing that I've been really thinking about, Julie, is how to set goals, how to set a vision for 2025. And I know one thing that I myself have moved towards, and I think you and I kind of share this in thinking about goals and vision really tied to our pillars and our values. And I know for myself, every year I kind of set a course to say, what are my goals both professionally and personally, and it's really kind of tethered to my values. And I actually have a little one pager that just helps me really identify, like, here are my goals and the steps that I'm going to take towards some of those goals. But I really kind of at the end of the year takes again inventory of how far I did come in some of those things, and also how it makes me feel in the moment, knowing that I'm moving towards things more authentically myself, knowing that my goals are really set in those values. And I know as I get ready for 2025, I'm wiping out a clean slate and getting ready to really think through what it could look like as I'm living authentically with those value-based goals.
Yes, that is such a good reminder because I feel like sometimes we put like arbitrary goals down on paper that maybe don't even really feel like they align with us, or it just feels like that's something we should do. But for me personally, I choose a word every year to kind of move myself forward. And so that's my theme for the year. And so for 2024, my word was alignment. And what I do with that word is I start the year off with that word. And I really look at what the definition is as I'm choosing my word. So, like right now, I'm going through the process of choosing my 2025 word, and I have a few ideas of what I want that word to be and symbolize. And so I write down in a notes section on my phone a couple different options, and I mull those over and I look at the literal definition of them and I think about what each of those words means to me. And then as I go through the year, so like this year with it being alignment, anytime I have a big decision to make or I'm feeling stuck or I'm maybe, I don't know, questioning things, or maybe I am feeling really good. And I look at that word and I use that to drive my decisions. And so this year, as our community knows, as you know, like I ended up quitting my job. And that was because I said my word was alignment. And so if I'm not in alignment with who I say I want to be and how I say I want to feel and, the thoughts that I'm thinking and the words that, I use and the actions that I'm taking, then I'm not in alignment. And if I'm going to use the word alignment for the year, then that means that I have to, walk the talk, as they say. So for 2025, I have a couple of different words, and I will share in the community once I decide what that word is going to be, but it really helps me to kind of anchor in. It's a good anchor for me each year, to go back and say, this is what I set forth. So it's less of a goal and more of a theme.
I love the idea of coming up with a word, and I can't wait to hear what you come up for 2025. And I think that just knowing that each of us, right, have taken actions to be able to say, take the moment and create a vision for what that next year is going to look like, so that we're working with intention, living with intention, and living authentically is just, I think, the most key component of kind of what we're getting at. And Julie, so what would be like a couple of things that we can all come together and celebrate for you in 2024?
Yes, thanks. I know. I was thinking, I mean, as we're giving advice, we think about these things and over the year, obviously, like I said, quitting my job was a huge step for me and taking the leap to do something for myself and take action on creating this community. Just making that big leap felt very scary, but I do celebrate that every day. I'm staying in gratitude every day for that. I also My dad went through a lot of health challenges this year, so I'm celebrating him. We have a little bit more to get through. We're just focusing on having the best Christmas possible. All of the families coming in, and we're super excited to celebrate that. But very proud of him and celebrating, just our relationship and how we've healed that, and also just celebrating his I mean, him going through those challenges, it's just, it's tough to watch, and I'm sure it's harder to go through. And then last but not least, I just, I really, this year, my word was alignment, but I feel like surrender was a big part of my journey this year. And so really just surrendering, to recognizing that I don't know what I'm doing half the time, that the plan is, I can have a million plans in place, and the plan is just ultimately always revealed to me versus thinking I'm going in with a plan. So really just having that moment of surrender and being able to just focus on just being in alignment and then allowing the plan to reveal itself. And so how about you, Jill?
Well, jump into mine here in a second, but first, just so excited to celebrate those three things with you and be alongside you for this entire journey. Because I think definitely we share that number one component of, leaving our corporate world jobs and taking this amazing jump into almost the unknown here. Every day is a learning opportunity, and it's been an absolute honor and privilege to be able to do it alongside you. And so it's been quite the journey. Couple other things that I know that I'm celebrating is also really finding my voice. I think a big part when you're part of corporate HR, there's this way that you show up and you represent the business, and in some of that coming out of the corporate world and coming into more the consulting space, I've been able to really find my voice and be able to put these water cooler wisdom videos has been a big part of that, but really being able to advocate and stand and be on a mission to serve as many people and be as inclusive in the different industries as we can as we think about evolving talent and doing some HR work. So, and my very last thing that I just, I'm always about developing skills, rounding out kind of different things, pursuing different, being curious about different things. This year, I actually got my bartender's license. So as a fun thing, every once in a while, I can help pick up a couple of shifts at some local breweries here in Seattle. And so that's been one thing that I've done on the side just to keep me a little bit more curious and get some additional skills. So talk about fun HR. Comes with a bartender's license, and I'm also ordained to do weddings. So I'm a holistic service provider for the Blueprint community.
I I'm just so in awe of that. I think I just like imagine you as the cocktail, like, is it cocktail? Is it Tom Cruise? Yes. Like, I'm just imagining you like slinging glasses and like,
Talking about career advice, talking
yeah.
about hiring people. Like I'm a full stop service provider. So like I'm just here to be your holistic partner.
Oh my gosh. I've always enjoyed working with you, Jill, and I am so honored to do this alongside of you, as you said. And I hope for our community, you guys can reflect on the year that you've had and celebrate everything from big to small. I think sometimes we forget about, celebrating those small accomplishments or things that people maybe we think that they would think that they're small. But everything that we do, every moment that we grow, I mean, literally just being alive is an accomplishment, right? Like it's a gift and it's an accomplishment, and we're all doing better than we think we are. So, with that, we hope you guys just have the best holiday season. Go back and listen to our advice on how to be present throughout the holidays if you're struggling with that. And we're so excited to bring you a lot of new changes in 2025. Bold Blueprint, as we continue to evolve this community, we're continuing to evolve to what you guys need. And Jill, do you want to say anything about our retreats for 2025?
Yes, I am so excited that you, Abby, and I, we're going to be coming up with some very intentional opportunities to connect this community together in both virtual and in-person opportunities. And so we're excited to move this community more towards engagement. And I know those are all things that you guys are eager to do and be able to lift each other up and connect. So stay tuned for 2025. More details to come about the Bold Blueprint community and also our retreats.